Hey, welcome! 60-minute endurance ride for you today. Undulating profile or on a flat road, depending upon what gear and what kind of cadence that you choose. But we've got a quick 1-minute warm-up and then we're going to just dive straight in to our first endurance ramp. We have got 7 8-minute endurance ramps. Another one of those little workouts that on paper looks really easy, but it's relentless from start to finish. We've got a block of 56 minutes of effort. As always, folks, look at the numbers here on this side of the screen for guidance to indicate your level of effort, percentage of your FTP, or percentage of your max heart rate. Pick your level of fun, or whichever you want to use to indicate where you're at. So let's explain a little bit about what we've got today. Each of those 7-minute blocks is 8 minutes long. We've got 2 minutes. I'll give you the FTP numbers first. Starting off 56%, which is where you should be at already. Second 2-minute block, 62%. Third 2 minutes even, 67%. And then the final one, 74%. We're entirely in zone 2 on this effort. Lovely endurance ride, keeping it, you know, kind of as interesting as we can with just those ramps. And we're going to repeat that 7 times over. As I said, on paper these look really easy, but it's a ride or a workout that just will sneak up on you, and whilst you're doing it you might not feel as if you're really busting a gut, but you'll feel it afterwards. Your body will feel it afterwards. Nice, smooth, consistent pedaling technique today, keeping it nice and controlled. I'm not going to tell you what leg speed. I mean, we'll talk about how you can change this workout around. So you can do it multiple times, different ways, keeping it fresh, keeping it exciting. 2 versions of the workout, one with music, one without, on different playlists. So if you want to play your own music, go to the no music playlist and you can play your own music in the background. Still getting the instruction, but playing your own favourite music, that's fine. So moving on up already. That time is whizzing by, look at that. Jumping straight in. So on the second ramp here already, second bit of the ramp, you should feel it just building steadily in your legs. Now, as always, if you've watched any of my workouts before, I'm on a smart trainer, so don't think I'm just sitting here with no resistance on my bike. I am. It's just been auto set from my headset, from my bike computer to my smart trainer. It's auto setting my percentage FTP. So I don't need to change gear. It's doing it for me very handily, which is, you know, can be a bit of a pain because I've got no bail option. I've just got to stick with what I've got. Oh well, it's fine. So let's look at heart rate. So where should you be if you're using your heart rate? So for each of those ramps, first bit of the ramp, you want to aim for around about 60% of your max heart rate. Moving up to 63%, 67%, 70% max heart rate. We are staying aerobic all the way today. We are aerobic base building. We're building your endurance, your aerobic engine. It's what is going to help you out. If you've got any kind of big events coming up, you need that really strong aerobic base. So lovely little cheeky workout today. I'm not quite sure what. Oh no, there we go. I thought he was playing all sorts of tricks on me. So look here, to change the gear. Are we ready? Changing it up to 67% FTP. Shouldn't feel under any great stress today. We're going to have to keep that banter going to keep you going all the way through. It's a ride that kind of, again, it's a mess with your head kind of ride. Because, I don't know about you, but if I'm doing a kind of a workout that's higher up the zones, higher up the intensity, you can feel that pain, you can feel that hurt, and it keeps the mind sharp and focused. Even if it's, oh my heavens, when is that next bit of recovery coming? So we've got no real recovery today because the first ramp is almost your recovery. First bit of the ramp rather, first 2 minutes. So we're just relentlessly going. So it's kind of like this, undulating along the road. Oh, and breathe. How you doing out there today, folks? Are we good? Are you doing this workout because you've gone absolutely mental this week, either out on the road or on a mountain bike, or you've just done a really stupid lot of work this week? This is a nice kind of ride, a nice workout. If you're not feeling like you could just face one of those massive efforts, please don't write off this level of intensity, mind. I do one of these. In fact, this is 60 minutes of endurance. So the lower down the zones that you go, the longer you need to spend in those zones to get those physiological adaptations, the good stuff. And 60 minutes is the bare. I mean, it's really, if I do this kind of ride on my own when I'm not instructing, just gone up to that last 2 minutes in the first ramp. If I'm doing this workout intensity when I'm not instructing, I'd do an hour and a half minimum, 2 hours ideally plus. I mean, that's hardcore. Not hardcore as in hurty, hardcore as in, how can I keep the concentration going? I would tend to put a film on. Put a film on. Spend 2 hours there. Do this workout twice over. I've one horrible minute there, do you know, folks? I thought my husband had unplugged the fan. I was like, well, that's just plain mean. Can't get off my bike. I'm a bit stuck here. It's all good. How are you in your pain cave today? It's super cold in my gym, actually, but I'm getting a little bit warm already. How are we doing here, folks? And breathe. So into the last minute of that first little ramp. I'll get a little bit of chat done and then I'll start calling out the cues for you on the next ramp. What music have you got playing? Please tell me. What's keeping you going through this ride? Or maybe you've got a film on and you've got me on mute. Always a possibility. Okay, just about coming up to 15 seconds left. You've got the graphic down there, by the way. That graphic is an export from Training Peaks, which is what I use to program these workouts. And I've exported the erg file, and that graphic is generated to show you where we are. Don't look too far ahead, and drop it back down. Back into the lowest part of the workout today. Drop it back down, 56% if you're using FTP. Bring the heart rate down, recover. You shouldn't find this super hard today. Nice and smooth on those pedals. Shouldn't feel any massive sensation of leg fatigue. I mean, if you're doing this like I am, seated the whole way through, then you're not going to be very comfortable on your bum, really. But that's fine. So a note on that: just because I'm seated doesn't mean to say you have to stay on your bum. If you want to pop up out the saddle at any point, if you're on a turbo, an indoor bike, easier on an indoor bike to stand because you need slightly less gear, you've got that flywheel to help you. If you want to do any standing, maybe the last 2 minutes of each ramp where we've got a little bit more gear on, maybe you want to stand for a little bit or all of that 2 minutes. Your heart rate will pop up though if you do that. But that is an option. Okay, 30 seconds to go till we've got that next little change of intensity, just moving it up a little bit. We're not big jumps today between the gears or the resistance on your bike. And just, you know, squeeze a little bit on. It makes no difference if I'm in the small ring or big ring. I'm actually in the small ring, but that's irrelevant. If you're not on a smart trainer, probably stay on the small ring today. Shouldn't need the big ring. No, no, no. You need a lot of concentration. I think you need a lot of concentration to really keep the focus, to stay at the lower zones. You know, your legs kind of ride into it, and then they go, oh, this is fun, woohoo! And your heart rate's gone up, you've got up too much gear. You need to keep it down, keep in that endurance zone. Really make yourself do it. Big round of applause from me if you manage to stay in that aerobic endurance zone. So you've got the numbers there for a guide. Please let me know if you managed it. As I said, I've got no choice. I've got no choice. I've just auto setting, so I've got exactly the right amount of gear on. How are we doing? How are your legs feeling today? Are they happy? Oh. Now I'm just debating here whether I'll let you into a little secret just between you and me. What do you think? We won't tell anybody, just be between you and me. This is the second time this week. I'm quite embarrassed about this, but what the heck, I'll tell you anyway. I recorded this a few days ago and I threw the kitchen sink at it. I really was trying to keep the banter going, trying to keep you involved, to get you through the hour. I put a lot of myself, and that's what takes it out of me when I'm instructing, if I'm truthful, not the legs. It's, you know, me kind of delivering to you lovely people through that camera. And I did a great recording, all excited. I was doing a little bit of adjustments with some of the camera settings before I went off. And you ready? We're about to hooch it up, going up. And it was all great, it was all going well. I was really pleased with myself. Got off the bike, walked over to the camera, and there was no blue flashing light on the top. I'd recorded the whole thing without any sound. So it was the best silent movie ever, best silent instruction ever. Some of you might say that's a bonus. Thanks for that, before you put the comments in there. But I had to ditch the whole thing. So here I am again today. Still smiling, but feeling a bit of a muppet. But anyway, whatever. So 2 of these I've done this week. Bonus. What an idiot, Chris. Oh well. So much to remember when I'm doing this for you. Have I got my smart trainer on? Have I got my heart rate monitor on? Have I turned the mic on? Not always, clearly. Is everything charged up? So much jeopardy. All good. Have you got some fluids today? Might not need a towel. Might do, depends how warm you are. If you're somewhere southern hemisphere, a little bit jealous. We're still in lockdown here in the UK. Woohoo! What can I say? So if you're out on the roads in the nice warm sunshine, a little bit green with envy. Little sip of that music, little sip of that water. Are we ready, folks? Just about. to change it up. And there we go. So, I mean, you should feel a little bit of pressure through the legs, but nothing that your fantastic legs cannot handle. You should be feeling very happy. I thought, oh, we like this, Chris. Can we do this all the time? Answer, no, we cannot. But we should definitely be doing this level of work. It's all good. So you should look at the numbers here. Keep a check of that heart rate. Mine's gone up a little bit because I'm chatting to you. Ordinarily, this is a very easy workout to keep hold of the heart rate. RPM, see, I've just settled at my regular RPM. Can't concentrate on my leg speed as well as everything else. But let's up it a little bit. So how can you change this workout around? So you've got the structure there of the ramps every 2 minutes. Clearly you could push it up a little bit. Maybe make it up into a tempo workout. But, well, I mean, you could stay in tempo the whole time, really. Or if you wanted to make the first little 2 minute block, a little bit of recovery, you could drop back down into zone 2 and then do the second, third and fourth a little bit higher up. I mean, it's up to you. So changing the gear, changing the resistance to make it a tempo workout maybe. Options. About 10 seconds to go, folks, before we drop it back down and start the third ramp. Still with me? Yes? Yes, I can see you're still with me. Dropping it down. And breathe. Let's take a minute here. Remember, big, deep nasal breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Exhale all those waste products so you can take another deep breath afterwards. Keeping the shoulders down. There we go. Nice one. Easy to stick with me today. We're not dropping anybody on the road. Everybody riding together all the way to the end. No big shakes. How's that bike position? Soft onto those hands. If you lift your hands up and you've got any big red patches, you're probably leaning too much, putting too much through the hands. They're just there for stability, just resting lightly on there. Doesn't matter where they are. Here on the tops, you know, swing around to the side, onto the hoods, a little bit further forwards, down onto the drops, wherever you like. No matter if you're on a regular bike or an indoor bike, just make sure your hands are nice and soft and comfortable. Moving up to the arms, little bend here at the elbow, keeping it nice and soft into the elbow. Don't overgrip the handlebars because that tension's going to travel straight up into the neck. So up to the shoulders, rotating them back and down, tucking them into your back pockets. And we've hooched up to the next one. I can just about feel that changing gear, changing intensity. Tuck them into your back pockets. Keep that chest as open as possible. Lift it up, head up. Sag over the bike. And check out your bum position on your saddle. Make sure, so the widest part of the saddle should be the right size to support your sitting bones on your pelvis. Shouldn't feel a hit right through the soft tissue. Should taking that right up through into the pelvis, onto the sit bones. Check your legs are tracking. Some of you might naturally cycle with a kind of a knees inverted in or knees slightly inverted out. Depends upon your physiology. Foot's nice and neutral at the bottom of the stroke, not overly dipping the toes. If your saddle's too high, you might be having to reach for the pedals. You should just get nice, tiny little kind of feeling, not really a stretch. At the bottom of the stroke, when the heel comes down at the bottom, just before you start to lift the toes to come up round the back, if that foot's kind of nice and neutral, you should just get a little sensation into the calf muscles. How are we doing? Right, let's change it up. Lovely. Nice deep breathing. It's all good. Because we're working at the, lower end of the zones also, lower down the zones you are, the lower the intensity, the lower the effort, the less physiological strain you're putting on your body. Which is why you can stay there for longer. Doing a zone 7 neuromuscular sprints. Oh, got one of those coming up, I think. Actually, it might be next week. That's a cheeky one. So the lower down you are, less strain you're putting on your body. Also means you can replicate this kind of intensity more frequently. You could happily, off your bum would let you do it, happily replicate this ride day after day after day. If you're out on the road, out cycling around, you could keep this level of intensity up for many hours, many hours. As I said, your bum bones might not be so happy, or undercarriage, whether you're a guy or a gal makes no difference. Might not be that comfy. It's when you're having really good cycle wear. I don't mean good as in expensive, good as in fits your profile of your bottom and gives you, we're just about to change up folks, last one. It's when your cycle shorts, the pads needs to be, check. Is the pad in the right place here? Is the widest part of the pad where your sitting bones are? So it all aligns between the saddle, your cycle shorts or cycle knickers, and your bottom. No, what have I got? They've got reef in your bottom. So all needs to be lined up. Now I've got a lot of cycle kit because up until I went online, I was instructing a fair amount of times a week. It's my kind of uniform. I've dropped that leg speed down. I'm just going to pick it up a little bit. So it makes a massive difference. And wearing the wrong kind of gear, and you'll find what works for you. I'm not going to do any product placement, but luckily for me, my favourite cycle shorts manufacturer does a fantastic range that just fits me perfectly, and just coincidentally that happened to be the same make for the official spinning gear, because I'm a spinning instructor, which was very handy. So I had lots of cycle shorts that work for me. And there's another brand that I use. There's two that I wear actually. The other one I buy because I like how it looks. Who wears cycle gear? That makes them feel amazing. that they go, yeah, I look good in that. Happens to be comfortable as well. But you know, what do you wear that makes you feel amazing? Oh, we dropped down, look. Well, that went very quickly, didn't it? How are we done? 3, 4 to go. Oh, happy days. Oh, this level of intensity, you could happily be singing along to your favourite tunes if you've got your own music on in the background. Sing away. If you can't sing, if you're gasping for breath, chances are you're working, if you do this as an endurance ride, you're working a little bit too hard. Rein it in, folks. Rein in that enthusiasm. Other little tip, if you do some off-bike strength training, and if you're not quite sure what to do, in the winter series, can't remember, I think it's number 4, there's a little video there to give you some tips on what kind of off-bike strength work you could do over the winter maybe. This is a great ride because you're not sweating absolute buckets at the end. You could do this hour, you'd be good and warmed up, and then you could do some strength training off the bike. You know, nice and warmed up. Use that opportunity to get off and just do a little bit. So if you've never done any before, try it out. It's not a gimmick. No, sorry. How are we doing? About 15 seconds to go. Are you managing to keep that heart rate under control? Happy days. Now, the quicker your heart rate comes down, that's a really good indication of how fit you are. If your heart rate just drops off a cliff. Are you ready? Change it up. Let's get this done. I mean, I've got a little bit of fan on here. How about you? Are you not even needing your fan? You must be somewhere very, very cold. Or are you full on? Whew, windows open, fan on max, dripping sweat everywhere because it's so hot. As I said, a little bit green with envy. I don't like the cold at all. Can't wait for the weather to start picking up so it's a bit warmer. Until we're released a little bit, because I'm going to get that camera on my bike, on the road, and get some footage outside, mixing it up a bit. Slightly different experience for you. Can't wait. Bringing that for you. Might have some backdrops, some proper climbs to do, and yeah, following a profile on the road, mixing it up a little bit. So you don't have to look at me, you can look at the road profile. I'll make me really small in the corner. Big improvement. I mean, just checking with the legs, how are they feeling? I mean, mine are feeling super skippy actually. Super, super skippy. I've had a little rest yesterday. Yeah, they're talking to me. They're happy. Your legs happy? And just about to change it up. Just try not to look too much at my bike computer. Are we ready? Load. Let's go. Oh, I could stay here all day. How about you? Could you stay there all day at that intensity? Lovely. Oh, legs feel really fluid today, actually. I don't always feel that good. Getting a nice fluid motion, nice extension from the hip. Not overly feeling it in the glutes even. Not having to stress anything too much. All very happy. Keep sipping away at your fluids. It's not one of those workouts where you do an effort, get to the recovery, and you're kind of like, oh, I need some water. It's not one of those. So you might forget. There we go. Other ways you could change this workout. You could maybe stick with the same gear, same intensity, same resistance if you've got an indoor bike, and then use an increase in leg speed, an increase in cadence, increase in RPM to get more power and to push your heart rate up. So you could use cadence instead of gears or resistance. And just change it around. Think outside the box a little bit. You don't need to do exactly what I'm saying. Changing it round. Over halfway. Whoop, whoop. Always good. Are we ready to push it on up? 2, 1, load. Nice and smooth. Yep. Let's get this little block done, and then we've got 3 to go. If you don't usually sit the whole way through a ride, if you're one of those riders that likes to have a little bit of an undercarriage posture break, fine. How about you maybe, instead of doing every single block out of the, not all of it obviously, try doing one block all seated, one block with a posture break, and then make it, one with a posture break, 2 seated. Try and eke it out. By staying in one position, it's locking that intensity into the muscles, it's locking that effort, and it's relentless. I'm not selling it to you, am I? I mean, I kind of like it. I'm just used to it. Heart rate snuck up a little bit. Stop it. Happens all the time, doesn't it, folks, when I'm talking to you? Too excited. Come on, little heart rate, get down. Let's have you. We've sort of gone crazy, but it's not as slow as I'd like it to be. Have you gone full on drippy sweat? Or have you just got that lovely, little light workout glow going? Whatever, bet you look amazing. Bet you look amazing. And on that note, I've got a little proposition. So this is all me talking to you. Which and drop it back down. That's that ramped on, 3 to go. What I miss most about live instructing is the banter with my clients. And there was a lot of banter going. Yeah, lots of regulars in there. We all know the score, we're going to get it done. Lots of banter. Lots of abuse being thrown at me, which I'm sure is happening, by the way. Throwing abuse at me. I just can't hear you. So it's wasted. Anyway, I really miss that. And, it's kind of, when you've got a group of riders doing a workout with you, it's that kind of, you can sense the kind of the mood and the atmosphere in the room, in the studio. And, depending on how workout's going, if I've planned something and peeps out there are really struggling with it, are like, well, we'd love to stick with you, Chris, but that's not that I'm superhuman, by the way, please don't think that at all. But if I've planned something that's really very, very challenging, and the kind of mood in the room is just not lifted on that day, do you know what? I'll adjust it as I'm going. We'll change what we're doing, we'll change it up, and maybe try and reinvigorate, get everybody on board, and we'll maybe try and see if we can get away with it again. Get away with it. 30 seconds, folks. I really miss that. Not being able to see how much you're all enjoying yourself, what level of fun you're at, how much you're really struggling. And, I can't help you out because I can't see you. Going in about 5 seconds. I've got a little proposition. And I'm going to caveat that, first of all, before we do that, by saying the reason I do this is because I love instructing. I love coaching. I love people to improve and to kind of like get it. They get it, you know, they get it. They're not just jumping on a bike, turbo, and just randomly doing something. There's a lot of work and effort goes into structuring these to make sure there are physiological benefits for everything that I do here. And I want to bring you along on the journey. I want you to improve. I want you to hit those goals, whatever they may be, it doesn't matter. And I want to help you along your way. That's why I do what I do here. So that's my primary reason for doing this. Currently, I'm just sharing all my work with you. I make not a single bean out of doing this, by the way. This is, you know, if you come back in 5 years and looking back at some of these early workouts, maybe it's changed a little bit, but I don't make a thing out of this. If you've not subscribed and you're watching the channel, please subscribe. That, by supporting by subscription, which costs you nothing either, makes a big difference to me, the number of subscribers that I've got. So please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. That will be fantastic. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Just to show me that, you know, this is working for you and I'll continue to do what I'm doing. And so what I'm proposing, and it's not as a money-making venture at all, but how are you interested in doing an interactive Zoom workout? I'm kind of proposing just once a month, and it will be restricted in terms of numbers, so there'll only be so many places available to join that live workout. Then I can see you, then we can interact. You can throw questions up, you can shout at me, and I'll be hearing you. How do you feel about doing that? Do you like the idea of doing an interactive workout? I'm in if you are. There's a little bit of cost involved for me to do that, so there would be a very nominal charge, really nominal, for you to join that workout experience. And you know, it can evolve into a regular monthly thing. If it takes off, we could do it once a week maybe. You know, I'll get input from you. What do you enjoy? What would you like to do? What would the focus be? You know, let's get some two-way stuff going. I am in if you are. If you're interested, leave me a comment. Send me an email. My email address is in the About section. Send me an email. Send me some communication. Are you in? I'm in if you are. Would be great. And I can, you know, we can do some special stuff for I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever you like. I don't mind. Fans going up, you see, there's too much hot air in here. Too excited about the prospect of doing some two-way stuff. It was really exciting for me to be able to, and we've shifted up to the last 2-minute block in this ramp. That fills me with a lot of excitement. You know, it'd be live. What's not to love? I'm in for all the jeopardy that's involved in doing a live session. That'd be great. Let's do it. Definitely miss my clients so much. Old faces and new. How cool is that? How are you doing there? You're hanging in there. How's the bum? Oh, that's all right actually. A little bit of shifty around. It's all good. Keep those nice deep breaths going. You know, I might have to blow my nose. Excuse me, folks. There we go. I'm terrible when I'm out on the road. I have to have a hanky in my back pocket when I'm riding on the road. Especially if it's cold. My nose just drips like a tap. 30 seconds left here. Do you have to blow your nose when you're riding? That's just the way of the world, isn't it? Oh well. How's the time flying by? Has it gone glacial? Or have you just looked at the profile and gone, yay, 2 more to go? Of course you have. Check out that position. Have you started gripping the handlebars? And we drop down. There we go. Oh, body's very happy with this level of intensity today. Probably because it knows what's coming up next. I seem to recall I got that really lovely sweet spot with burst one coming next, so that's going to be fun. Oh well. For the moment, very happy to be working at this intensity. Just getting, oh, heart rate's not gone bonkers. How's your heart rate? Is it good? Definitely the level where you can breathe in and out through your nose. You shouldn't have switched to breathing in and out through your mouth. If you have, you've kind of tipped over a little bit too far. Unless you've got some problem when you can't breathe in and out through your nose, obviously. But on the whole, yeah, definitely do nasal breathing all the way through. It's fine. 30 seconds left here. What's the weather like where you are today? It's freezing, Chris. It's snowing outside. There's ice everywhere, which is why I'm stuck here on the turbo with you. Oh, is it too hot to cycle? Not sure I've got much sympathy, if I'm absolutely honest, if that's your reason for being here. Are you ready to squeeze it on up? There we go. A little bit of bitty gear. Or changing cadence if that's what you're doing. Oh, my legs are so happy, I can't tell you. Lovely. Nice and smooth. Oh. Someone sent me a message. I don't know what that was. I'm just ignoring it. Turn my phone off. Turn my watch off. Not that I'm looking anyway. Or do you need some distractions out there to get you through? Oh, you're like, oh, God, just keep chatting away. I mean, this is your bread and butter. This level and up into tempo, if you do long rides on the road, you happily spend hours. And it may well be, you've actually got a bit, if you're riding along with some other riders, and you're in a peloton or in a chain, and you're way back in the peloton or chain, you might be having a real lick on. You know, you've got some person on the front's really giving it the beans, right? Maybe just on the limit, just on the threshold. You can be sat further back, getting sheltered, head down, sheltering in there, and you could be working at a much lower intensity and just getting pulled along. Have you ever done that? Feels amazing, doesn't it? I tend not to ride in big groups because that's just my personal preference. And hooching it up, folks. I only ride with a few people that I like riding with. Again, just personal preference. Do you like riding on your own? I do a lot of riding on my own. Or do you ride with a lot of people, or just a few, or just have a cycling buddy that you cycle with? I'm really missing cycling with my cycling buddy. My best cycling buddy. She knows who she is if she's watching this. And you can kind of change up your workout, change out your ride. If you're really hitting a bad spot, you maybe not got the right nutrition on board, you're not fueled properly, you're starting to bonk. Do you lean on your cycling buddies a little bit to put in the effort at the front, while you can sit there, refuel and maybe recover? It's happened to all of us, right? If you're just not feeling strong, if you've had a hard week, have you been doing some really heavy efforts and you're just going, oh man, this is one ride too much. We've all done that as well. Might be through necessity though, to be honest, if you're doing a tour. It's like, get on that bike again, no choice. Just less than 30 seconds here, folks. So I ride my regular cycling buddy's my hubby. He's a very talented cyclist. Has to cycle with his poor old wife. But we do ride a lot on the road. We make it work. His power to weight ratio is stupid. My power to weight ratio, and we've gone up. My power to weight ratio is not fantastic, but I'm relentless in my climbing. So on climbs, I'm never going to stick with him, ever. It's just never going to happen. So what we tend to do is he'll ride off, he'll do the climb at his own pace, and he'll get to the top, maybe stop and have a refuel, then he'll ride back down and do it again with me. So he gets a lot of riding in. If it's a really nasty climb, he's not so keen on coming back, funnily enough. I'm not quite sure why. But, we kind of make that work. Do you ride with someone? You're in different abilities, or maybe one of you's recovering from an injury, you're rehabbing, and you're not at your regular level, but you still want to ride with your buddy? Think of different ways that you can make that work. Other thing we do is, if we're on a flat road, I'll shove him on the front. He can take the wind. And on the flat, we're more evenly matched. I am an endurance athlete, but I can just hold that kind of nice effort for a long time. I can feel that. I can hold that hurt for quite a long time. So he'll sit on the front. I'll sneak in behind him, especially if there's a lovely headwind. He can take that, thank you very much. And I'll sit there, and he might be working, FTP wise, good 10% harder than I am. Are we ready? We're about to drop down, aren't we? Yep. And drop it down. Last ramp to go. And I can happily sit on the flat behind him for some time. If he's having an off day, doesn't happen very often. But if he's been, I can't remember, he was rehabbing from something. Anyway, I did the whole ride on the front, which never normally happens. And I pulled him round. Did my ego a lot of good, just for that one ride. But it is what it is. I accept what I can do and what I can't do. And just because I'm slow at the mountains doesn't make me any less a cyclist. Don't let anybody tell you that you're a lesser cyclist if you're slow at the mountains. Does not matter. is not important. You work at your own level. And I stick to my numbers like glue. I've got power on my road bikes. And I stick to my numbers. I know what I can do. I know what I can sustain. And I will just be relentless in holding that effort. Hours and hours. You know, long alpine climbs, up Mount Tady, any of those, you know, 30k climbs, all up. I know what I can hold and how I can get there. And I feel amazing when I get to the top. I'm never going to let anybody belittle what I do because I'm not quick. Nor should you. Don't let anybody sneer and go, it's not very quick. It's quicker than sitting on the sofa, that's all I'm saying. Just about coming up 10 seconds to go. So big shout out if you cycle up mountains and, you know, and you're ready to change it, let's move it up. You are amazing, all of you, just for even doing this. Amazing. Fantastic. Celebrate what you're doing. There's my motivational speech for today. Just by turning up and sitting on your bike, you've won. Woohoo! Well, I think so anyway. I've got some horror stories. I'll maybe tell you another time what people have said to me. Oh, just gotta brush it off. Their problem, not yours. I believe in you, every single one of you, whoever you are out there. Welcome to my team. You're very welcome. How are we doing here, team? Fabulous team. Do you know what? It's so close to being done, isn't it, eh? And if you've never done an endurance ride before, you're kind of, it's HIIT and anaerobic efforts and zone 6, zone 7, and your body's just feeling a bit weary. Very welcome here. Do these. Give your body a break. Give it a pat on the back. Love your body. It's the only one you've got. Look after it. 10 seconds. Have you snuck onto your hands? Have you? Push that weight back. Get the core. Now your core doing the work as opposed to holding your abs in. Completely different thing entirely. When you're riding on the road or riding at all actually, let the abs go. Let them go. You want your diaphragm to sink down as far as it can. Tummy's going to come out. We don't care. I kind of would like the oxygen on board. I don't know about you. Let it go. I'm just thinking Frozen. No, don't sing. That's bad. I promise you I'll never sing. That's only going to end very badly. My son's a musician. He's got an amazing voice. Definitely didn't get those genes from me. Are you feeling all rejuvenated after this ride today? Have you just, love that? 3 minutes of effort to go, if my maths is correct, which is always debatable. Made a blooper recently, oh well. Never mind, moving on. Do you know what I'm going to do here? Look, my legs just settle into their little rhythm that I can just do all day. I'm going to move it up. I'm going to move up that RPM. I'm going to concentrate is what I'm going to do. I'm going to concentrate. I'm going to bring that up to 85 RPM. There we go. And I'm going to hold that, so my heart rate will go up, which is all right. I'm going to hold that For the little tiddly bit we've got left here, 5 seconds, and then you're going to hooch on that last gear for the last time. There we go, 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes of effort. In fact, I've upped it to 90, look. Go legs. Pick a slightly higher cadence that you can kind of settle into, just to mix it up. Or maybe you've done the whole thing at 90. Some people do have a slightly higher leg speed. Mine tends to be around about 67 to 72-ish. Sit there all day. There we go. Yeah, heart rate snuck up a little bit. Your heart rate will go up a little bit if you're not used to high leg speed. Speaking of leg speed, have you tried out the cadence challenge? A lot harder than it looks, by the way, folks. Give that a go. If you're not used to switching around your cadence, give that a go. 1 minute to go. Breathe. Or you're just plodding away out there to the end. Pick whatever works for you today. And just scooting those legs along. Keeping that control. Nice and fluid. Squeeze in, 30 seconds to go. From the hips. Open up this joint here to drive the pedals. Nearly done. 15 seconds. So when we drop the gear, we've just got a 3-minute cool down. Are you ready? And let's cool down. No, just 3 minutes, because we've not really worked at really high intensities. If you've worked higher up the zones, you're going to need much longer to recover, longer to remove those waste products and get your heart rate back down. Now, we've not worked stupidly hard, so heart rate shouldn't be skyrocketing. If you've kept it under control, you should be all good, and hopefully you can bring your heart rate down to your target heart rate. Mine's 58% of my max heart rate. Once I've got my heart rate back down to 58%, I'll call my cool down quits, however long that will take. If you need a little bit longer, as always, just keep the legs moving. If you've got your own music playing, no problem. Just keep the legs moving until your legs don't feel dead, until you've got your heart rate back down, until you've got the control back, and then you can jump off the bike, do your stretches, or any of my biomechanics releases, any of those, and you're all good to go. Heart rate's coming down to my little skippy excursion there at the end. So keep hydrating through your cool down. After you're done, keep the hydration going. Especially if you're somewhere hot. She said. Okay, lovely people. 1 minute to go till I leave you to the rest of your day. So as I said, if you watch these workouts and you've not subscribed, but you like what you see, please subscribe. Please, please, please. Give us a like. All makes a difference to me. It'd be really great, thank you. Leave your comments. Link to my Facebook page, also on the last end screen. 30 seconds to go. Fantastic. Let's hope I've got the sound turned on because I can't see the blue light from here, which would actually be very handy, but never mind. 15 seconds, peeps. And nearly done. Coming to the end. And there you go. Keep going with that cool down if you want to. Anyway, as always, folks, thanks for watching. Till next time.